Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Dennis. How are you?
I'm good. So, for those who think this is the first time we're starting this recording, it's probably like the 10th time because we've been having Zoom issues. So, we've said hello to each other a good 10 times this morning. So, hello again, Jenny.
Yes. So if we sound like we're frustrated with each other, that's the reason why.
Yep,
It's actually we're expecting a storm here in Brisbane, so we're just saying that it's the weather. So
cool. Well, anyway, I think it's working now. Everything looks good. We're very excited for this class. We haven't had an interactive in a little while, so it'll be really good to do one again.
thank you. I'm glad that you're looking forward to it, Dennis. I know that you like using all kinds of funny tools around your place to complete your layout, so that'll be interesting to see.
So with Erin back now, I have most of the tools here now. I have a scoring board, I have a trimmer, I have post-it
Oh,
notes. I'm
wow.
ready to go. So
Oh,
maybe actually before we get going, Jenny, is there maybe a list
yep.
of things that the ladies can get ready in the meantime?
Okay, so we're just going to, in this class, so we're just going to construct the layout. The only thing that's a little bit different this time, and I think I've said to you on a video, we just need a sheet of acetate, but to actually just start the layout, so we're going to need our paper trimmers. We will need a scoreboard or tool of some sort that you'll need to do that. Post-it notes, we love to label these things so they're easy to find. And then your double-sided tape or glue, whatever you need to construct your page. And we will be doing a little bit of fussy cutting, so just some really nice, good, sharp pointed scissors. But because this class is recorded, you know that if you don't have anything, you can just pause it and run away and go and get it and come back and resume the video. So there you go. Okay.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm very excited for this. I really love the colors in this collection. I think it's super bright. It's so vibrant. I really enjoyed working with it. It just took me a little while to get started, but once I was started, I really enjoyed it. I did something a little bit different with the chipboard this time. I don't know, you probably can't see it really well in the video. I'm going to try and bring it up to you a little bit closer. No, I don't know. You can sort of see it's got a bit of texture on it. So I've used
Very cool.
some grit paste.
Grit
So
paste. Okay.
it's called grit paste. I don't know if you can see it. It's a Tim Holtz product. It's got it's like a texture paste, but it's like someone dropped a thing of sand in it.
Oh,
So that's hence the grit. So I've just taken that and I've just used a brush and just pounced it on my chipboard. I was hoping that I could get like a bit of a sandy sort of effect on it. So
nice.
yeah, that's come
Nice.
up quite nicely. So yeah, I was a bit happy with that.
Oh, very cool.
And I've kind of put this layout back together the wrong way there. There we go. Now it's back the right way.
So I think Ben, maybe before we start the class in the next minute or
Mhm.
so, could you just walk us through the layout for those who haven't seen the video?
Sure, I am happy to do that. So in behind our little front pocket, we've got an insert, goes in behind there, flips open. Love these seagulls. Ends up there. I've used a bit of ribbon behind the tags and in a few places. Ends up here. This is a slide out pocket. This is where the acetate is. When I made my first prototype of this, I didn't put the acetate in and it just kind of got caught on a few of the elements. So I found that putting the acetate in behind worked quite a bit better. There's in behind there. That's the back of our little insert. So that's just slides in behind there. Just slides in a bit easier with the acetate. And then this little flap tucks in behind just to keep it closed there. And then on this side, that opening up there. Once again, I've used the grit paste on that bit of chipboard, so it's just overhanging on the side, so you can flip it out this way and then it opens right up there. A bit of a challenge trying to work out where this boat should sit in the water. I don't know whether it should sit in this middle part or up a bit higher, but at the moment, that's where he is. So when you stick it down, if you can think of a better placement, that's all good. This flips down, flips up here. This little bit slides out, and then that slides back in behind there. This fishing rods are caught, and that goes back down and there. So yeah, fairly simple layout, not too much happening on this one, but I think it looks really nice, cool. Just clean open lines. So
yeah, it is a clean collection that played a lot with white space. So yeah, I think you did a really good job. Is that the acetate sitting on those two corners there of your 4x5?
Yeah. Very I've cut the acetate out of that. They go there. I use them as well. Oh, here, these are both acetate pieces.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. Cool. And I like this wavy border strip as well. That was lots of fun to play with.
Awesome. Well, it looks really, really cool. And we're excited to do this layout with you. So I'm going to mute myself so the camera doesn't keep jumping to me. And,
okay, no problems. I shall grab all my tools. So I've got my trusty paper trimmer and I have my pieces of paper.
Jenny, can I give you a challenge, if you don't mind?
Yes, Dennis.
I have to challenge you every now and again. So, I mean, you and Erin were so fortunate to be in Fiji with all these colors. Can we see this layout with photos on it? Not now, but, you know, like in the future. Can we see some Fiji photos?
That's a good challenge. I think that will be gratefully accepted. I will do that. And yeah, okay.
It's so much more interesting looking at a layout when it's been personalized with photos.
Okay, well, I'll do that if you make Erin do it on yours.
Sure.
Okay, so the cover, obviously, lots of awesome fussy cut bits. I really love these, the wooden posts with the seagulls on them. That was really nice. I like that. And not one border strip that had to be cut out. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
I do listen. It takes me a while, but I do listen.
Okay, I'm just trying to get myself organized here. So just going to put my little taggy bits down. I think I might put this over here a little bit, if that's okay. Looking good. All right, so the first piece of paper we're going to cut is called, I'm assuming, Dennis, that you meant this to say boardwalk. Because it says boardwalk.
Just Jenny.
Someone will bring it up. And I've just thought, you know, I just have to...
if not somebody else, you will.
So, ladies, what we're doing, and gentlemen, sorry, Dennis, we're cutting off our branding strip. As you can see, so I've just cut that off in the bottom and we're leaving it in that direction. And we're going to slide it across and cut it at 2 inches. Okay, so we're cutting through 2 inches. Okay, so what we want to do is the 2-inch strip, which will have the seagulls on the top. We want to make this 9 3/4 inches long. So I've just turned it around. So I'm getting my 9 3/4 inch piece has the seagulls on it. So I cut the little bit off this end. So it's 9 3/4 by 2. And I had a bit of a thing where I cut this piece off and then I didn't use it, but then I decided to use it. So we're starting off with A5. So sorry that it's a little bit out of order, but we're going to label that A5. And this little bit will be an offcut. Okay, so A5, 9 3/4 inches by 2. So the 2 inches we chopped off the top. And that means the piece we're left with at the moment is 12 by 10. We just need to narrow it down to 10 inches wide. So it'll end up being 10 by 10. So we're going to take it across. So it ends up being 10 by 10. And this one is A1. And this little bit on the side is an offcut. Okay. So that's all we're taking out of that first sheet of paper. And then we're going to go and find in our pack the second sheet of boardwalk paper. So don't forget, ladies, to keep your strips off the bottom because we will use these in the layout. So this is our boardwalk paper. We're going to turn it on its side, trim the barcode off, and once again, we're going to leave it in that sideways position. Barcode's coming off. And this time we're cutting at 2 3/4 inches off the top. So 2 3/4. So it's 2 3/4 off the top. Once again, we're going to measure from the seagull. So I just turn this upside down and the measurement is 10 1/2. Okay. Okay, so I have lost my piece of paper. Why not write one down? Okay, so let's say it is 10 1/2 by 2 3/4. Okay, so we cut the 2 3/4 inches off the top first, then we turn it around and cut it at 10 1/2. We are going to call this piece A2. And this little bit on the side is an offcut. Okay. So then we were left with the bottom piece. Automatically is 9 1/4 tall. So it's 9 1/4 tall. And we're going to cut 2 pieces off. So it's going this way. So 5 1/2. And the remaining piece, slide it back across again and cut it at 5 1/2. Okay, so we had 5 1/2 by 9 1/4. And then again, 5 1/2 by 9 1/4. And then this bit is an offcut. We're going to say A3 and A4. Okay. So all these pieces are our A pieces. So we're just going to clip them all together. Okay, so just keep them all together. It makes them easier for us to find later on when we go to do our layout. Okay, so the next 2 sheets are called Seashore. So Seashore. We're going to start with one of these. And we're going to take the barcode off. Let's get rid of this one from the last sheet. barcode off and leave our paper sideways. Same as before, we're going to slide it across to 2 inches. So we're taking 2 inches off the top of the paper. Okay, so this is the top of the paper. We turned it on the side, cut it at 2. Okay. Now we're going to cut this piece here to 5 3/4. So we want to have the bird in it. So this is 5 3/4. So 5 3/4 by 2. This bit here is an offcut. We don't use that. And I'm going to call this little piece B1. Okay. People can see that. Okay, so we cut the 2 inches off the top, which means we were left with a piece that's 10 inches. We're not actually going to do anything with that. So it's 12 inches wide by 10 inches tall. And that's going to be B2. Okay, so we cut B1 and B2 out of that piece. And the second one of that piece, it's really easy. We're just going to trim the barcode off. And we're not cutting it, we're just labeling it B3. It's the easiest cut we'll do all day. Okay, that's all our B pieces cut, so we can just paper clip them back together. Get myself organized, put all these pieces over here. Then the next one, like I said, we had an easy one there. These 2 pieces on the other side, on the sand side, are just the base for our whole layout. So we'll just trim the barcode off. And trim it off this one as well. And I will just label them C1 and C2. So like I said, they're just full 12 by 12 sheets and they're the base. So we don't need to do anything else with those. Our strips over here, myself organized. The next piece of paper is called sandbar. So as usual, we've got 2 sheets of those. Okay, so what I'm going to do is trim the barcode off this one. And then I'm going to turn it back around. Okay, so this is where the strip was on the bottom. So I've taken that off, turned it back around. Then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. Okay, so that was at 5 1/2. So this one is 5 1/2, which means that this one will be 6 1/2. And then we're going to label these. We've got D1. and D2. Did I get it right this time, Dennis? D1, D2?
Perfect. For once, I'm the skinny one.
Yes, you are. Okay, so those two pieces there. Okay, then we're going to take the second sheet of this paper. So this time we're going to trim the barcode off and leave it in this direction. So the barcode came off the bottom here. We're going to scoot it across and cut it at 5 inches. Okay, so 5 inches. Sideways, got 5 inches. Then we're going to turn it around and cut it at 10.5. Okay, so it was 5 inches tall, 10.5. This little bit's an offcut. And we'll call that D3. So 10.5 by 5, D3. And the remaining piece from when we cut it before, this is automatically 7 inches tall. We're going to slide it across and cut it at 9.5. Okay, so that's 9.5 by 7. And the remaining piece is 2.5 by 7. So just that one cut we need. So we're going to call this one D4, and this one will be D5. Okay, so 9.5 by 7, and the offcut piece is 2.5. So we're using both of those. You going okay for pace, Mr. Bruton?
Perfect. I'm keeping up, so everybody else should.
Okay, that sounds good. So we've cut all of our D pieces. We can clip them all together and pop them in our pile. Clean up our little workspace. These are very cute. Okay. We're flying through today. So the next piece is called Waves. It is a little bit wavy and psychedelic when you look at it. It does kind of move under the eye a little bit. You don't want to have had a big night out drinking before you use this paper. Okay, so what we're going to do is trim the barcode off. And then we're going to turn it back up so it's the right way. I don't think it particularly matters, but this is the way that I cut it. When you have it turned this way, you can see there's like a line in the paper that goes across. But all we did, we turned it on its side, cut the barcode, and then turned it back around. So with it going this way, we're going to slide it across and cut at 5.5. So 5.5 inches. Okay. So 5.5 by 12. Don't need to cut it again. And we're going to call this one E1. Okay, so that was 5.5 by 12, E1. So the remaining piece should be 6.5 wide. We're going to turn that around. And we're going to cut it at 9 3/4. Okay. So it is 6.5 wide, 9 3/4 tall. And this will be, this is wrong. Here's my pencil. It's 6.5 by 2 1/4. You don't need to do anything. It was just a mislabel. It's automatically 2 1/4 when you cut 9 3/4. Okay, so this is going to be E2, and this will be E3. Okay, 6 1/2, 9 3/4, 6 1/2, 2 1/4. Okay, E2 and E3. Okay, the second sheet of waves paper. So this time we are going to trim the barcode off and leave it going this way. So this line you see in the paper goes up and down. We're going to scoot it across and cut it at 10. Okay. So it will be 12 by 10. And that is E4. If you cut it the wrong way, don't stress, really doesn't matter. It's all good. This is just the way that I did it, and it will still work the other way. So 12 by 10, which means we're left with a 2 by 12 inch strip. And we're going to cut this at 6 3/4. So that makes that 6 3/4 by 2. And this becomes 5 1/4 by 2. You don't have to cut this second piece, it'll be the right size. So that's E5. And this is E6. Okay. Please don't stress if you make a mistake when you're cutting it. It really doesn't matter. There's always ways around it. Okay, so that's all our E pieces. So we can just clip them all together. It's jumping out on me. How's everybody going with their Christmas shopping? Oh, can't believe that it's December almost. Later this week. On Saturday it will be December. Crazy.
Do your kids in Australia also have a long December break now?
The year 12s have already broken up.
Okay.
The other kid, yeah, the primary school and early high school, they'll break up within the next couple of weeks. So yeah,
Okay.
Your kids are breaking up soon, aren't they? This week?
Wednesday. Then we have them home for, I think it's 7 weeks. Nice long.
Oh wow!
Break.
I think our school year, our kids don't go back to like end of January. So
yeah, and I think we're the same. And then they start a new grade next year.
Yes, that's right. Yes, we are the same as you there. So yeah. Okay, our next paper is called Tidal Pool. This is so cool. I'm sure I've picked up some of these on the beach. Okay, so what we will do is we will trim the barcode off. And then just turn it back around. So it will have been this way. Once again, really doesn't matter which way. This is just the way that I cut it. Okay, so we're going to scoot it across and cut it at 5. So 5 inches. Then we just need to cut it down to 11. So it's 5 by 11. I have no idea where this piece is. So it's 5 by 11. And it's going to be F1. I'm really all over the place. Oh, hang on. There it is. 5 by 11. Okay, and then this bit here is an offcut, the 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, so the piece that we have left will be 7 inches because we've cut 5 off. So we're going to just narrow it down to 6 inches. Okay. It was 7, now it's 6. This piece here is an offcut. And we're going to turn this and cut it at 9. So it was 6 inches, so it's 6 by 9. And then this will be 6 by 3. This will automatically be 3 because we've cut it down there. We've got F2 and then F3. Okay. All righty. We are going to pop those over there. Second sheet of this paper, tidal pool, it's called. So this time I'm going to trim the barcode off and leave it sideways. So barcode off, leave it this way. Then we're going to slide it over and cut it at 9 inches. That was 9 inches. So we're going to, that's all we're going to do with that one, 12 by 9. And that will be F4. So we just turned it on its side, cut it at 9, 12 by 9, F4. So the piece that we have left off the bottom will automatically be 3 inches wide. We're going to turn it and cut it at 9 inches. So it's 9 by 3. And that's F5. And this little bit that we cut off is an offcut. So this one is 9 by 3. Pop that into our pile. Put our paper clip on, if we can find it. There it is. It's all done. Now these next 2 sheets of paper, Sandcastle and Beach Ball, I did use these in the layout, just not as construction pieces, but definitely you will use them, and you'll see that when you go to embellish the layout. As you know, I fussy cut all of this sheet. I didn't use those on that side. I used all these images. And these ones I used, yeah, as well. So we'll just pop them to one side for the moment. Okay, so the next sheet we're going to cut is called Snorkel. I think Snorkel's EL too, Dennis.
There's like 4 of us who proved this, and I tell you, I don't know.
It was, you know why though? You know how I picked it up? When I was typing my instructions, I typed LE and it went, mistake. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do is trim the barcode off and then turn it around so our stripes are going sideways. And our first cut is 9 inches. I need someone like Tony Ritchie. I think she'll know the correct spelling. Anyway. Okay, so it's 9 inches wide. Then we're going to turn it around and cut it at 9 1/4.
So some good news, Jenny, because I had to like recover from one of these. And
yeah,
my friend Google says, is it Snork EL or? And it says they're both correct.
Well, there you go. So whatever was correcting me when I was typing.
American or British? I don't know.
We're British. Come on. What is the British?
Definitely.
What does the British one say?
I don't know. Let's just leave it there.
Okay. Did I give you that measurement? Okay, so we've cut it at 9, then we've turned it, cut it at 9 1/4, which means the piece that's left is automatically 2 3/4. Okay, so we've got G1 and G2 out of there. I'm sure we have better things to disagree over than the spelling of words. So we've got those two there, and we had this piece left. It is 3 inches wide at the moment. It was this way, 3 inches. We cut it. So then we're going to turn it on its side and cut it at 8 3/4. That's 3 by 8 3/4. And the remaining piece is 3 by 3 1/4. So we've got G3 and G4. Okay. So that was the remaining piece from that. That's actually 2 pieces. Okay. So we only have 1 sheet of G, so we can just clip those pieces together. Really nice pieces on the bottom as well. Love those. So I'll put all my barcode bits over there. Okay, so this was the next sheet. If you've gone ahead and fussy cut this out, don't worry, because we are just going to trim it down a little bit. So we'll take the barcode off. And we'll start off by just leaving it in this direction. So we're going to take these stripes off the top and the bottom. So slide it over to 11, which means you're just cutting 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, so you've done it at 11. So we'll take this away. Then we will turn it around this way. And we're going to cut it at 10. Which means you've taken 1 inch off the top.
Now, Jenny, I have to like interject here quickly. So this was designed, this page I designed with you in mind. I even put those strips there because I knew on your interactive you wouldn't want it at 12 inch. So I knew you would cut them off. So you should be very impressed.
I am very impressed. Okay. I just need to talk to you about flipping things, not having them on the same. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, so at the moment it's 10 inches wide this way. Okay, so then we're going to turn it sideways. Now, I need to take 1 inch off this right edge here. So we're going to slide it over to 11. And we're taking 1 inch off this side. Okay, so this at the moment is 11 inches wide. This piece is 1 inch. We don't need that. Then we're going to flip it around and cut it at 10 1/2. Okay, so what we've done is we've taken 1/2 inch off the left. We've taken 1 inch off the right. We've taken 1 inch off the top and 1 inch off the bottom. So the piece ends up being 10 1/2 by 10. Okay. We all good, Dennis? Yes?
Yep.
Clear as mud? Okay, so all these pieces are offcuts. And we're just going to label this one page 1 for the moment and pop that in our pile. Now, this is probably going to be a little bit hard to see. But this is my sheet of acetate. Now my sheet is automatically 8 1/4 inches wide because it's A4, so it's already 8 1/4, which is the width that it needs to be. We're just going to shorten the length down, or the height rather, to 10 inches. Okay, so it's very hard to see. That's not it. Where's my, I don't have my little piece of paper, do I? 8 1/4 by 10, I do. There we go. So it's 8 1/4 wide, which you shouldn't need to cut down unless you've got a bigger piece, and it's 10 inches tall. Okay. And that's our little sheet of acetate. So that's all of our cutting done for the moment. We are going to do our scoring next. So if you want to just grab whatever tool you use to score with. So I have a scoreboard. Some people use paper trimmers. Some people use a ruler and a pencil. Just whatever is the easiest for you. You want to just pause the video and go and run away and grab whatever tools that you need. The first piece we're going to score is H1. So with this direction, so this piece of wood grain is wider on the left here. We're going to start our score. We're just going to score at 1/2 inch down this left side. So 1/2 inch down there. Okay, pop that aside. No. So out of our G pile, we're going to locate G1. I think I've told you this tip before. I always label at the top and the middle, just so I know which direction to have the paper. So with this way, so it's 9 across the top, 9 1/4 down this side. We're scoring it at 8 inches. So 8 inches. If I'm going too fast with the scoring, don't forget you can just pause the video. If it takes you longer to do it. Okay, so don't need anything else in our G pile. So we're going to find the F pile and we're looking for piece F4. So that's this large piece. So we're putting the 12-inch piece right across the top, 9 down the side. This one we're going to score at 10. So scoring F4 at 10. So it's in your landscape orientation. Okay. So that's the only piece out of our F pile that we're scoring. So you can clip all those back together. And in our E pile, we're looking for E4. So E4, the 12-inch side is on the top and the 10-inch side is down the left. And we're scoring this one at 3 inches. Oop, throwing it away, 3 inches. That's E4 at 3 inches. So we also need to score piece E1. Okay, so E1, I'm turning in this direction. Okay, so you've got 12 inches across the top, 5.5 down the side. This one I'm scoring at 3.25. So the score is 3.25. For E1. Okay, so that's all the E pieces scored. So we can just pop them all back together. Okay, so we're going to go to the D pile next. We're going to take D2. We're putting it in this way with the 6.5 across the top, the 12 down the side. We're just going to score this one at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch down the side there. D2 at 1/2 inch. Okay, we're not scoring any more of our D pieces. But we're just putting them all back together in our pile. So our C pieces are our base, so we don't need to score them. Then we're looking for piece B3. So B3 is the large 12 by 12 piece. Okay, so making sure that you've got it on this side that has the little bird sitting there. So it's the side that doesn't have the boat, this direction. So we're going to score it at 5.75. So we're making 2 scores on this one. So 5.75 and 11.5. Okay. So 5.75 and 11.5 for this one, B3. Just take your time. Okay. Take that one away. And we're going to score B2, which is this one. Once again, having it on the side that's got the seagull. And we're scoring this one at 8 inches. So 8 inches for B2. Okay, we're all done with that one. So we can pop all our B pieces back together, all 3 of them. That's B. And then from our A pile, the last piece we need to score is A4. So when you look at A4, one side will have this little bit of the land mass on it. The other one is plain. Okay, so making sure you've got it on the side that has that. And that's what we're going to score from. So where that little land mass piece is, we're just going to score it at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch for that one. So it's got the 9.25 across the top, 5.5 down the side. Turn that on its side. Okay, so that's the last of our scoring. Woohoo! We are all done. We can start getting all our bits and pieces together, ready to construct this little piece. You all organised, Mr. B?
I am, yes.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to start with one of our base pages. Doesn't really matter, just whichever. I've grabbed C1. And from our D pile, we are going to take D1. So D1 is just going to attach completely right up on this right edge. Okay, so we're sticking it down all the way, lining it up with the top and the right edge. Okay, sorry about you, probably going to see the top of my head here. Try not to scare you all. Okay, here we go. Okay, just going to get rid of that tag. So D1, it's just completely stuck down. If one is shorter or longer, you can just trim off a little bit if it overhangs. Should be the right same size. Okay, I'm going to move on, but if you're not quite ready, don't forget you can just pause the video and then restart it when you're ready. So we're going to look for piece B3 now. So B3 is this large piece here. So we're going to fold and burnish along this score line, the 1/2 inch score line on the right-hand side. So just give it a fold both ways. Okay, and then just flatten it back out. Okay, so this is the side with the seagull. We're going to run our tape or glue, whichever you prefer, down that 1/2 inch score there. Okay. So our tape or glue goes down that right edge. So what I'm going to do now, I put my tape down there. I'm just going to flip my page over to the other side. Now you've got a center score line here, so we're going to fold along that score line, give it a nice burnish. Okay, so our tape is under here. See, there's your tape. So you've turned it to the other side, folded it along there, and it's going to come just up to where that score line is there. Okay. We're bringing our page back in. If you just lay this down with this fold here, lining up to the left edge of B1. Okay, so you've lined that up properly. Now you're just going to pull your tape off the back here and stick it down. This piece is not folded under, it's flat. So your tape is at the back here. Just going to line it up with the edge so it folds over and then it folds right open. Okay, folds out in like that. Let's give it a nice burnish. So we're all good. Should line up in the top and the bottom there. Okay, we're all good. Okay, we're going to find piece A3 now. So A3 is the piece that has the lighthouse on it. It's not scored, it's a flat piece. We're going to make a pocket out of it. So we're going to turn it to the side that has the sailing boat on it. We're putting tape along the top, the bottom, and the right edge. Okay, so just on the 3 sides. So bottom, top, and along this right edge. So just the 3 sides. Okay, so this is piece A3. We're on the back, sailing boat. We're putting it on 3 sides, top, bottom, right edge. It's going to be a pocket, so that's why we're leaving this edge open. So we're going to open it up. So open this right out here. So it's going to go flush just to the right of this fold line on B3 here. You still want this to be able to close nicely, so you don't want to go too close to that edge, just nicely. And then you want to center it, same gap top and bottom. You will have a little bit of C1, the sand showing. If you want a measurement, that's 1 1/4. It's about 1 3/8 if you want a measurement. Otherwise, you can just eyeball it. And then remove your tape. Remember, this side will be open because this is a pocket. This will just close up over the top. We've got this open here as a pocket. Are we going? Time, speed, okay? Yep, perfect. All right, we're going to get piece G1 now. G1, which is this lovely piece. Has a score line, so we're just going to fold it along its score line. Both ways. Okay, and we're going to put tape on the stripe side, just in this 1-inch scored section. So tape or glue just goes down there. Okay, so what I've done is I've folded the scored section to the back, okay? So it's at the back. Now for placement, I'll just move this out of the road. It's going to come in about 1/4 inch in from this side. And it's going to be the same height as A3 there, okay? So you can line it up with the height, and it's just got to come in about 1/4 inch. Okay, so when I say about, we need to fit something else in here. So let's make it pretty well precise, 1/4 inch. If you don't have one of these cool rulers, I think there's a Tim Holtz one as well. One of these. They're always handy to get things straight and make sure that you've got your distance right. So 1/4 inch. So I'm going to line it up height-wise. Okay. Let's remove the rest of my tape. Okay, so when it's closed, it's the same height as that. You've got 1/4 inch in from there, and it's going to flip open to the right. Okay. We all good, Dennis? Yes, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to find piece A4. Oops. So this was A4. It's got a score line on the bottom. Okay, so we're just going to fold and burnish along our score line. Okay, so we're going to turn to the side that doesn't have that brown blob. Okay, so we're turning to this side and we're putting our tape along that bottom score line there. Okay. I'm sure you can all guess where it's going to go. It's going to go in this space here. Now, when I put mine in, even though I measured that quite well, it's a little wide. Okay, so you want to be able to fit between that space, that score line there, but you don't want it to be able to go over A3. So I am just going to take a tiny little bit off my right edge. Just make sure it fits in that space before you stick it down. And I'm just going to take a little slither off the side. Make sure that fits. Tiny little bit more. See, this is where I was talking about, like with the 1/4 inch measuring in from the side. So some people's 1/4 inch might be different from other people's. Obviously mismeasured. So now I know that it will go in that perfectly. This will continue to come up. So when this is attached, it flips down. Okay, so we're doing a down flip. So this one is like a flat fold. It doesn't get folded behind or anything. So we want it to line up nicely with that space there. Here we go. When it's attached, it flips down like that. Okay. Yours fit nicely? Yes. Very good. So we need to find piece E1 next. So E1, it's this little piece here. So E1 has a score line. So we're just going to fold and burnish both ways. You must get sick of the sound of my voice saying this. I can see you chuckling. Okay, so we're going to put tape on the blue side and we're putting it on the larger section below the score line. Okay, so on the 4 sides here. Dennis, I was out yesterday at an event and there was a South African lady there who had quite a broad accent, so I felt like I was at home. It was very nice.
So Jenny, what is your, without offending South Africans, what is your definition of a broad accent?
Well, I can tell she's South African. You know, she's not one of the ones that have been here for a few years and has a bit of Aussie to it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because like, do you think you don't have an accent?
No, but we have Afrikaans speakers and we have English
Yes.
speakers with
I would say
accents.
I would say she was Afrikaans. Yes.
I guess so. Normally, when a foreigner says a broad accent, they mean the Afrikaans accent comes out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. So we put the tape on there. See, that's on the back there. And this flap is going to fold down and it's going to fit into this space here. So once again, because my measuring was slightly off, I've just got to just trim a little bit again off the right-hand side. So I'm just going to take a little bit off there. Doesn't need to be much. Okay, and then it just fits nicely into that space there. So make sure that you don't go over A3 because we've got this pocket here, remember? So we need to be able to put something in there. In that space there we go, nicely. Okay, and that can still come over the top. So that will flip down and that will come over the top there. Okay, so we put A4, we've got that flap that comes up and it's stuck down on this part here. Sorry, I had to let Ghost out. Sounds like he's having a drink. Sorry, that piece goes in there. And done like that. Okay, we're just going to work on the insert, which is piece D4. So this is D4. And we're going to find piece F3 as well. Okay, so we've got F3. So with this one, we're going to use the blue side here. So D4, I'm just going to move that over there. So we're going to attach this here. So we're putting the tape on the little pebble side. Okay, so it's 1 1/4 inches in from this right edge. You can eyeball this if you want to. So it's about there. Okay, so F3 onto D4, 1 1/4 inches in. Then we're just going to put G4 just basically on here like this. Okay, so it's about 1/4 inch in from this right edge and 2 1/4 down from the top. So yeah, about there. That looks pretty good. Love this wood grain. Always love a good wood grain. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we've done that. We're going to turn it over and we're looking for piece E5. Okay, so for E5, we're using the blue side. So I'm going to put tape on the spot. On the spot. Now, what did I say? 3 1/4 in from the right. Once again, just eyeball it if you like. I know some people really like measurements, so I'm just giving them that. And it's centered top and bottom. So about there. These lines aren't straight though, Dennis. That just, you know, throws all those people with OCD out. But I know wood grain isn't meant to be straight. It's natural in nature. So before you yell at me. Okay, so E6 is the next piece, and we're using the spot side for this one. So we're putting the tape on the blue for this one. These are just decorative pieces. Just what I use to build my clusters on my layout. I'll just show you what it looks like when it's all decorated. So we're just putting these pieces in behind here. They just allow you to make your pieces just that little bit more interesting. Okay, so the measurement for this one is 4.5 in from the right and 1/2 inch down from the top edge. So yep, just about there. Like I said, not super crucial. If you prefer to eyeball, that's fine. Okay, so that was the E5 piece, and this we're working on the D4 piece. Okay, so this just slides nicely in behind here. Slides in behind A3. And then you close this down and lift that up there. Okay, so now we're going to work on this piece. This is G1. Sorry, that's Ghost. If you can hear anything, he's got his pig inside. I don't know if it's coming through, but it's not me. It's the pig with the dog. Okay, so G3, ladies, is the next piece. And we're just going to put that just slightly in. So you've got a bit of a border on the edge of this piece, which is G1. Okay. Okay, we were supposed to have a storm, but I haven't heard or seen any of it. Okay, so G3, there we go. That's going to go in that spot there. Okay, so then we are going to turn this A4 piece down to the back. So we've got this plain piece here, and we're going to attach piece E3. So E3, and we're using the blue side. So tape's going to go on the spot. I wish I was one of those great conversationalists and I could have interesting topics talking to you about in the background. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay.
Jenny, when I'm like with Juliet, I don't generally scrap, so then I can talk, but I can't follow you and talk. Sorry, you're on your own.
Oh, no, that's no good. That's okay. You keep going because you're my pace car. Okay, so what I've done with E3, it's just about 1/8 of an inch in, centered top and bottom approximately. So just wherever you think looks best. Okay, so D5 we're getting next. D5. So that's this piece here. So we finished with that little bit there. We're going to go over. So this is B3, and we're going to fold that open. Actually, I can just fold that in so it's out of the road. So we folded this till we've got to the page where we have the sailing ship. And we're going to attach piece D5 over here. So remember, you've got this score line all the way right down here. So you want to go just to the right of that score line. And it's same distance top and bottom, which will be about 2.5 inches. Okay, need to put some tape on this. Okay, I'm just removing my backing. Okay, so just to the right of that score and centered top and bottom. There we go. Stuck down completely. Everything will sit down after it's all the fibers have just broken down a little bit, and that's our left page done. Okay. So we'll start work on
just open that again. Sorry, I was just a bit behind on placing that last piece.
That's okay. So this one, B3.
There we go. Okay.
So you just want to make sure, see where your score line is?
Yep.
Just want to make sure you're to the right of that score line. And it's centered top and bottom.
Cool. Thank you.
That's all right. Okay, that one's done. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to take D2, and then we need our second base page. So with D2, it's got a score line, so we're just going to back along there. And the tape's going to go on the wood grain side in that scored area. Okay, so just down that right edge there. And this just goes flat on the left-hand edge. Can you hear the dog, Janice? You can? Sorry.
It's some good background music.
No, it's not. Okay, so we've attached it to the left. Holds open. Ghost. Stop. No.
Leave Ghosty alone. Shame.
People are going to think I'm weird. Okay, when you have that piece attached, the next one you're looking for is E4. So it's got a score line. So we're going to fold and burnish along the score line. And the tape goes on the blue side, just to the right, in that section to the right of the score line. I wish I had shares in paper tape. I use so much of it. Double-sided tape, that's what I meant to say. So that's where the score line is. So we're just putting it on the section to the right. Okay, so what we're going to do is fold this to the back, and we're going to come in 1/2 inch, and it's centered top and bottom, which I think this is, if this is 10 inches, yep, you should have 1 inch top and bottom. And we're coming in from the edge 1/2 inch. Okay, so it will flap open like that. Ghost has finally calmed down. Our background music is gone. Okay, so we've got 1/2 inch in from this edge, 1 inch top and 1 inch bottom. So they're going to flip open like that. Okay, now we're searching for piece B2. B2, that's this lovely piece. So we're just going to fold and burnish along the score lines. Way. I know I keep telling you this is the perfect time to make sure your pieces are nice and straight. So we're going to turn the paper to the side that has the sailing boat on it. And this section to the left of the score line is where our tape goes. So it's the side with the sailing boat. It's to the left of the score line. It's like that. Okay. So then we're going to fold this to the back. We want to attach it to the front of our E4 piece. So this fold line is going to go right up to that left edge on the front. So when it's attached, it will be attached to this whole page. Okay. Okay. Now tape off. Okay. So it flips out like this. It's attached to our E4 piece. Are we going? You're all done? Look at you go, Dennis. Okay. We are going to find piece F5 now. F5. So we're just going to attach this little piece just down in that spot there. So flush with the right edge of B2, just like that. It's a nice little decorative piece. I'm just imagining which photos I'm going to use from Fiji on this. I have to go hunting now. I've got my challenge.
Juliet's on her layouts, which I've seen, used her photos from the Seychelles, and the colors were like
wow.
a perfect match. The blues were
Oh, that is so cool. Has she shared it with the photos on it?
It'll be tomorrow, Sunday, when this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I just wasn't organised enough to have mine. So Juliet wins. Not that it's a competition. Okay, so we've got that piece F5 stuck there like that. Okay.
You're not getting
Right.
you're not getting any sympathy, you Fiji, Seychelles, Globetrotters, while the rest of us are stuck. So
Oh,
don't come
I
looking
was
for
going to
sympathy here.
say. Okay, so what we're going to do now, some of you may have already done this, but we just need to trim out the center of this fussy cut piece. So what I normally do is just do a rough cut first up and take those images out of the center. So if you want to do this slowly and more precisely, like I said, please feel free to stop and pause the video. Take as long as you need to trim this out. As far as fussy cutting goes, this particular part to cut out isn't too intense. Those trees are a bit wild, but apart from that, everything else is pretty good. So we've got one more collection before the end of the year. Is that right?
When I'm fussy cutting, that's the time you can't talk to me.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, this is a pain in the butt. Look, I know how to design it, but I really don't enjoy this part. But
Okay,
yes, there's one collection left. I don't want to give too much away, but it's
I'm very excited to see what it is. Gives me something to do over Christmas then, hey? Work on a new collection.
That's it. And if you look behind me, you can see probably a glimpse of a new product that launches with it. So there they are, all stacked there. And so the class will be using the bulk pack and that new product.
That sounds a bit exciting.
It does.
Can't wait to hear all about that. So if you've already cut this out, you might like to fast forward the video maybe. I wish I could fast forward fussy cutting. That would be cool. These birds up in this top corner are a bit intense.
Have you got any Christmas plans?
We're going to go over to my son's place on Christmas Day.
Nice.
Catch up with him. The three of us will probably go over there. Then I might, a couple of days, my mum lives up the coast and the traffic going up there is always horrendous. So we always try to leave it a few days after Christmas before we go up there to see her. So we'll do that. A big shout out to Barbie at Daisy Chain in Nambour. She's fallen over and done herself some damage to a femur, I think she said. So, yeah, so if you're watching, Barbie, I hope you're feeling better. And you get better soon. Yeah, it doesn't sound too good. She said the ladies are going to have to look after the shop for a while. So, yeah. Big shout out to all our stores here in Oz and over in South Africa as well. They always do such a great job, and they've been sharing all the links to this class. So that's very exciting and good for us.
Yeah. Very grateful for all the support we receive.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. I hope everybody loves these online classes as much as we do. Especially today, although you can't see my face, so I could have my pajamas on, but I don't, but
So
I could have.
you did have both cameras set up, but that was causing the issue why it took like 2 hours to start recording this class.
Yeah,
it was just lagging and freezing on the second camera.
Yeah. Okay, don't forget to keep those because we will use those. Now I think I'm going to use my craft knife to get rid of those things. We should have everybody comment where they're what sort of photos they've got that they're going to put on these layouts, Dennis. That's a good comment.
So, like for you Aussies, all your cities are at the coast, but in South Africa, our main sort of urban area is about 500 kilometers inland. So that's Joburg, Pretoria, and all the surrounding towns. So I think it's like, probably half our population lives up in that region. And so we have the annual migration of all those people in December that go down to the coast, whether it be Durban, probably most popular, or down to Cape Town or our area, And we have a big migration in December. I think it's well over, they said last year, well over 1.5 million people just go to Durban alone from Joburg.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they generally all travel at the same time. So the highways just become congested.
So they would drive mainly?
To Durban here because it's only about 500 Ks. So, and then also because of COVID, our local airlines have a lot of them collapsed. And so the price of domestic flights it's just astronomical at the moment. Yeah. It's literally, I think you're paying 4 to 5 times as much as pre-COVID for a domestic flight.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, our domestic flights are starting to come down a bit, but I know in the last school holidays it was chaos at the airport. So
we had the weird situation where our big airlines collapsed, leaving only the small ones to fill the void.
Yeah, okay.
So they're all ordering planes and getting them in, but it's taking a while.
Yeah, I think everything's taking a little while to kick back in again. So
yeah.
Okay.
I think people who go to Cape Town would probably fly because that's about 1,400 kilometers. So that's not a pleasant drive.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. How you almost done, Dennis, or?
Yeah, I'm as done as I'm going to be because this is not my cup of tea.
Not your thing?
No.
Okay. All right. So, like I say, if you haven't finished fussy cutting or whatever, that's fine. Just pause the video and come back
pay somebody to do this part for you. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, this is a little bit hard to show. Here's your acetate. What you want to do is cover the open section of this here. You do have a score line on this side here though, so do not go past that. So go up to that score line and then just to the edge of the paper over here. And you just basically want to just cover that open area as best you can. Because it's quite a narrow thing, I'm just going to put a bead of glue on mine. So because it's quite narrow, instead of using tape, and then you can just manipulate it a little bit. Of course, my glue is now going to freeze up. Oops. It's mainly this short edge that needs to be fairly close. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that I go cover that and cover that. Don't go over that score line. You're not going to see the back of this, so don't stress that it's made a bit of a mess here. Just clean that up. Put glue on the middle of it. I hate using glue. Anyway, it's all good. I'll clean it all up. So now you've attached your acetate and you've covered that hole up there. Okay. So then we are going to find piece A1, which is this piece here. And then what we are going to do is we're going to put tape along the top, the bottom, and the left edge. We're leaving this side with no tape. So bottom, top, and left edge. Okay, so just along the three sides. Okay, so then I'm going to turn this over to the back. Now remember there's this section here with the scored part. So just be aware of where that is on that right side. And then we are going to attach this onto over the top here, just up to that score line. So when you attach that down, this part where we didn't put tape will be open, so we're making a pocket. Okay, so we're attaching this here. Okay, so this is the back. When you flip it open on the front, this is open. And on the back, you've got this section sticking out, which is your flap. And you have the nice sailing ship on the back. You right with that, Dennis? Done? Okay. Then what we're going to do is put our tape down this section here. And then we're going all the way with this open here. And then this is going to attach in this space here. Now you want it to be the same height as that, and then just to this scored, this fold here. Okay, so this is flat. You're going to pull your tape off. Same height, right over to that edge. Okay, so this flips up like that. And this part is where your pocket is in here. Don't forget, you should still be able to close that over the top. You don't want to go too close to that edge. So we're all good with that? Okay. So now we're going to find pieces A2 and D3. D3. and A2. So with piece D3, I'm using the wood grain side. And A2, we're using the birds. So these two pieces are going to fit in this space here between there and there. Now, this first one, A2, it's about 1/4 of an inch, did I say, or 1/2 an inch? Okay, 1.5 down from the top edge, I said. So 1.5 from the top edge. Okay, and then this one will sit up here flush with that. Okay. So I had the side that had the birds on the right-hand side. You could, if you wanted the birds on the left, you could choose the other side. That may be giving you too many choices though. I don't know. Okay. Put this one down. And when you put this one down, make sure that you can still close that over. If it's too long, you can always just trim it off a little bit. So when you're putting D3 in, it's just going to go flush up against A2. There is a gap there at the moment, but on my layout, if I can find it. Amongst the pile, I used the waves along that bottom edge. So don't worry that at the moment there's a bit of a gap. Like I said to Dennis before, I really love these waves. You did a great job with those. Okay, we've got a little bit more decorating to do. So we're going to put G2. I'm going to slide him down there. Some tape on the orange, yellow, green, whatever color this is. Okay, so I had this one 2 inches in from the right edge. So about there. It's a good thing about having an image on the paper that you can use to line it up with. That's always helpful. There we go, centered top and bottom, about 2 inches in from the right. So we're going to take I really didn't want to lose this image. So I sort of kind of chopped him a little bit, but looks really good. So we're just going to attach it. So this is B1 and we're attaching it on the back of D2, just through the center there. I think the measurement was 5 inches down from the top. Yep, so 5 inches and then centered left and right. So on my layout, this is it here in the center. I've got photos top and bottom. Not waste any of those images on the paper. We have to use them all. So what did I say, about 5 inches? So, yep, about there. So this is the back of D2. We still have a few little pieces to go. So F4 is our next piece. So we're just going to fold it along the score line. Okay, so we're turning it to the blue side with the scored section to the left, like that. I'm going to take piece A5, and it's going to just attach to the right of the score line up along the top there. So this is A5. Once again, if you want your, whichever way you want your seagulls flying, I chose to have mine on the right, flying out to the right. So this piece we are working on is F4. Just take my little tag, I'll put on here. There's a score line here on the left. So we've got the A5 piece. So I've just put it in with a small border of the background paper showing. And then we're going to put E2 just along in underneath like that. So I'm using the spot side. So just putting the tape on the blue. Okay, I'm just going to turn that around. So we've got it going the right way. So just flush up against A5. There we go. I don't think that camera likes those spots. Goes a bit crazy. So this is the insert piece that goes in behind our acetate window. So this is the fold. So later on, you'll attach one of the 4x6 cards on the side of that. So just this part goes into the pocket here. Slides in like that. So up to about that far sticking out, and then that piece folds to the back behind there. So it should be in far enough that you can still close that over there. Okay, so we've slid, this is piece F4, slid that in between the acetate and the sailing ship piece. We should have 2 pieces left. Still working away there, Dennis?
When you didn't put the acetate on because you're going to do the fussy cut, I mean the fussy cutting later.
Oh, okay.
It's a pain getting that thing in, but it's in.
Okay. Yes, without having the acetate on it. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Like I said, with my prototype, I didn't put it in, and it really just doesn't quite work without it. It is a bit hard, so that's all good. Okay, so we are now just going directly to the front. We're going to take piece F1, that's this one here, and we're just going to put tape on the pebble side. We're going to do top, bottom, and right edge with our tape. Top. Okay, this is going to be a pocket on the front of our page. We've done top, bottom, and right edge. Okay, so we've done that. I'll take that off. So we're going to flip it. So the section without tape is on the right-hand side. And then we are going to attach it. I think it's about 3/4 of an inch in, centered top and bottom, just so you still have a little bit showing on this side. Actually, I think it looks like it's centered on the piece, but anyway. Okay, so we have this open here, sealed top, bottom, and then this last piece, F2, just slides in behind. And that's your insert. And then we're done. So I don't think I have too much more to tell you about it. I think I said earlier on with the chipboard, I've just used grit paste. Any kind of texture paste would do, just gives it a little bit of a rough texture. Yep, acetate on there. But as you know, in my instructions, I've got all my photo sizes, where I put in everything. You are more than welcome to change it to suit your photos, however you do it.
And the link to download the notes, if you haven't done it already, is in the description of this video, this YouTube video. So go and download that. It's very detailed, very step-by-step.
Yep. So there we go. That is the layout all done. Lots of fussy cutting ahead of you, Dennis, to get that finished. I'll expect to see it tomorrow afternoon.
Funny lady.
Funny. So when I do my layout and put all my photos on, I'll expect to see yours done as well. Okay. Actually, this goes over the top there, but actually that still works, doesn't it?
I think
with that over the front.
I prefer it with it in the front. It looks cool.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Well.
And then I had this out over the front before as well, and that looks just as cool. So you can totally change it up. Doesn't need to go the way that I choose. You can just make it yours and do it whichever way. But I did have that in under there. So, all right. Thank you so much for putting up with me for the last couple of hours. I hope you enjoyed the class. Yep,
Thank
please.
you for a really awesome project. It's always fun doing these interactives and seeing how your mind works and the engineering side.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Dennis. I appreciate that. And yep, like I said, any questions, please just put them in the comment section of the video, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. So I hope to see you again soon. I'll be here on Sunday tomorrow as well for Juliet's class. So if you want to pop a question in there too, please, if Juliet doesn't mind. If you don't get to it to the next day, that's fine. I'll be there as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. The nice thing, Jenny, is we don't work really with divas much. So I don't think Juliet will mind, and I don't think you would mind. So
no.
Awesome people, and it's a pleasure working with you and doing these classes. And thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're pretty awesome too.
Anyway, yeah, you need to go and have your dinner, or what do you call it? Tea in Australia. Go and have your tea.
Time for tea.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right.
We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Join in, even if you're not doing the class, just pop in and say hi to Juliet and have a look at what she's done. So thank you for purchasing the bulk pack. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, we'll see you between Christmas and New Year with the last collection. We've got something quite fun, exciting planned. Well, most people will be on leave, but we'll announce more a little bit later about that. Okay, thanks.
Sounds
Jenny.
exciting. All right, thanks, Dennis.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.